At exactly 9:47 a.m. on a frozen January morning in 2026, a single red symbol blinked onto a NATO monitoring screen. At first glance, it looked routine. Another vessel navigating Arctic ice. But within seconds, analysts at Pichofik Space Base realized this was anything but normal. What they were seeing was a 33,000-ton Russian nuclear-powered icebreaker pushing forward with absolute confidence. Its name was Arktika, its direction was unmistakable, and its location sent shockwaves through the room. The massive ship had crossed into Greenland's exclusive economic zone and was moving fast. Too fast. Just 18 kilometers from Nuuk, the capital of Greenland. No request for clearance. No diplomatic notification. No attempt at subtlety. This was not navigation. This was a message. Greenland is not just ice and snow. It is NATO's northern shield, a forward operating position that protects North America and Europe from the Arctic approach. By entering these waters, Russia was not testing Denmark. IT was testing the entire alliance. Within minutes, the order was given. 2 Danish F-35 stealth fighters were scrambled from Thule Air Base. The mission was simple on paper. Identify the intruder. Force it to change course. Assert sovereignty, but the Arctic never plays by the rules. When the F-35s closed to within 50 kilometers of Arktika, something went wrong. Both aircraft lost satellite navigation at the same time. Not degraded, not unstable, completely gone. The pilots suddenly found themselves flying some of the most advanced jets on Earth, with no GPS, no external positioning, and limited situational awareness. This was no accident. Russia had activated its Murmansk B and electronic warfare system. A floating wall of electromagnetic noise expanded outward over a 100-kilometer radius. Inside that bubble, satellites were blind, radios struggled, and precision became guesswork. Jets worth hundreds of millions of dollars were reduced to flying by instinct in one of the most dangerous environments on the planet. And that was only the opening move. While NATO focused on the icebreaker and the jammed aircraft, another piece was already in place. Something far more dangerous, something invisible. But to understand why Moscow was willing to take such a risk, we need to step back. Because this was not a spontaneous provocation. It was a calculated play timed to the calendar. January 2026 was politically sensitive. In Washington, debates were intensifying over NATO funding. Signals from the White House suggested possible budget cuts within weeks. Moscow saw an opportunity. By pushing into Greenland's waters now, Russia could achieve several objectives at once. First, create a gray zone confrontation. Not an outright war, but a situation where international law becomes blurred and hesitation sets in. Second, demonstrate Arctic dominance to China, a strategic partner eager to learn how Russia operates beneath polar ice. And third, and most importantly, challenge America's plan to expand the Golden Dome missile defense radar network at Pichofik. The message was clear. If you build shields near our doorstep, we will bring the battlefield to yours. Back in the Arctic, NATO had a problem. The F-35s could not safely engage without navigation support. Air superiority was neutralized. So the alliance shifted tactics from air to sea. By coincidence, or perhaps by foresight, a Royal Navy Type 26 frigate was operating nearby, HMS Glasgow, one of the most advanced anti-submarine warfare ships ever built. Glasgow was equipped with the Type 2087 towed sonar system, capable of detecting minute underwater disturbances at extreme range. In exercises, it could pick up the breathing patterns of whales dozens of miles away. When the emergency order arrived, the ship turned hard toward Nuuk and accelerated to flank speed. Its role was clear. Fill the gap. Detect what the aircraft could not. 8 kilometers into the search, the sonar operator reported an anomaly. Not a ship, not ice, something deeper. The commander faced a decision. Under NATO rules of engagement, He could not attack without confirmation, but he could warn. An Mk-54 lightweight torpedo was launched in non-explosive mode. Its purpose was not destruction, it was intimidation. A sharp acoustic signal meant to say, "We know you're there. Leave now." The ocean answered immediately. Alarm screamed across HMS Glasgow. Torpedo in the water. Bearing 000. This was no response from the surface icebreaker. The threat was coming from below. At a depth of 150 meters, a Yasenem-class nuclear attack submarine had been waiting. Silent, patient, deadly. The submarine was Kazan, pride of Russia's Northern Fleet, one of the most advanced underwater predators ever built. Its captain did not request authorization. He did not hesitate. He responded. A heavy 53-65K torpedo left the tube. Its warhead was not fully armed. Instead, it was set to detonate nearby. A warning shot, Russian style. Seconds later, the sea erupted. A wall of water surged upward, towering nearly 30 meters into the air. The blast occurred just 400 meters off Glasgow's bow. The shock waves slammed into the ship with brutal force. The sonar dome at the front of the vessel shattered. Composite materials designed for stealth and sensitivity were crushed instantly. In a single moment, Britain's most advanced frigate was blind underwater. HMS Glasgow was alive, but defenseless, drifting, exposed, and the situation worsened. Radar operators detected 3 new surface contacts approaching from the north. Russian Project 22,100 patrol vessels. Officially, border enforcement ships operated by the FSB. They moved in formation, cutting off Glasgow's route back toward Nuuk. Legally, it was a trap. These ships were not classified as warships. Under maritime law, NATO vessels could not engage them aggressively. Above the waves, the British ship was boxed in. Below the waves, Kazan vanished beneath the thermocline. The thermocline is nature's shield. A boundary layer where temperature and salinity bend sound waves, confusing sonar. At 150 meters, the submarine became nearly invisible. The sky was jammed. The sea was blocked. The depths were silent. Victory seemed to be tipping toward Moscow. Now imagine yourself as the NATO admiral overseeing this crisis. Your ship is crippled. Your jets are blinded. Escalation risks nuclear confrontation. Do you attack and risk everything? Or withdraw and accept humiliation? Washington chose a third option. From thousands of kilometers away, the United States had been watching. And now it decided to act. At Pichifik Space Base, technicians activated a system that had never been used in combat. An over-the-horizon radar upgraded with artificial intelligence. Unlike conventional radar, this system bounced signals off the ionosphere, scanning the ocean surface across thousands of kilometers. It did not care about jamming bubbles. It did not rely on line of sight. More importantly, it searched for disturbances. Slight changes in wave patterns. Pressure anomalies caused by massive objects moving beneath the surface. Through a secure very low-frequency link that penetrated electronic interference, data flowed out of Greenland. And there it was. A long scar across the ocean surface. Coordinates confirmed. Depth estimated. The Kazan was no longer a ghost. A U.S. Navy P-8A Poseidon was already airborne. Using inertial navigation instead of GPS, it closed in silently. But the Americans did not rush. They wanted something more than a hit. They wanted control. The aircraft released dozens of advanced sonobuoys in a precise grid. Multi-static sonar pulses flooded the water from every angle, collapsing the submarine's stealth envelope. The net tightened. When the system confirmed lock, Mk-48 ADCAP torpedo dropped from the weapons bay. Wire-guided, immune to acoustic deception. But it did not strike. Instead, it passed within meters of Kazan's hull, close enough that the sound of its engine echoed through the submarine like a death sentence. The message was unmistakable. "We see you. We can kill you." Still, the Russian captain refused to surface. He launched a dozen MG-74 decoys, intelligent devices that mimicked the acoustic signature of a Yasin-class submarine. Suddenly, the American screen exploded with targets. 13 red contacts moving in every direction. The real Kazan shut down engines and drifted into a seabed trench, hiding among geological noise. For a moment, even the AI hesitated. Then the Americans switched tools. The Poseidon descended dangerously low over stormy seas. The magnetic anomaly detector was activated. Physics does not lie. The Earth's magnetic field bent sharply beneath the aircraft. A massive steel object was below. The real target was exposed. This time, no torpedo. A small acoustic charge was dropped directly above Kazan. The explosion did not breach the hull, but inside the submarine, it was chaos. Sensors overloaded. Crew disoriented. Sonar temporarily deafened. The captain knew the truth. If he stayed down, the submarine would smash into the seabed. At 10:45 a.m., compressed air blasted into the ballast tanks. The ice cracked. Kazan surfaced in Danish waters. In daylight, surrounded. For a nuclear attack submarine, there is no greater defeat. With their underwater shield gone, the Arctica icebreaker and the FSB patrol ships turned away and retreated north. The standoff was over. NATO exhaled. But the cost was clear. Hum's Glasgow would need months of repairs. Millions spent. Russia had lost the confrontation, but gained valuable intelligence. And the United States had revealed capabilities it would rather keep secret. The Arctic had spoken, and it promised that this was only the beginning. Was revealing that technology a masterstroke or a dangerous precedent?